Hey everyone, Kelly Mahler, occupational therapist, and I know we're interviewing other school-based professionals about how they use the interoception curriculum in their school settings. But I thought it'd be really fun for me to talk a little bit about how I use the curriculum in a cyber school setting. I've been working in a cyber school setting for over 7 years now. It's not my primary area of where I work, but I do have several cyber school students on my caseload, and we have been having a lot of fun, and the students are having really awesome outcomes as a result of the interoception curriculum within this model. So we hop on our Zoom sessions or whatever platform the school uses for their cyber school. And what I like a lot is that we're entering into, many times for my students, we have a foundation that they're ready for interoception based work because they're in an environment where many times they feel safe. So they're usually in their home environment, so they're feeling safe, they're feeling regulated, they're ready to be able to shift their attention away from that environment into their bodies. Like if we're in an environment where we feel alert, where we feel on guard, we feel unsafe, our attention's naturally going to be pulled to that environment out of protection. So when I'm meeting them on Zoom in their comfort zone of their own home, they are primed and ready to be able to shift that attention to their body. So our sessions, I always try to follow a very similar format to keep that predictability, which is very regulating for a lot of my students. And so I do have a little bit of a generic schedule that we follow, but it's the same predictable routine every time. So we'll start out with an introductory activity that's usually some kind of a regulation activity, whatever is meaningful to their bodies and their nervous system. So we'll do something to help their nervous system get ready for the interoception activity. So maybe they need a lot of proprioceptive input to be regulated and feel safe in their bodies. So we might do some like bouncing on a ball together or some jumping or whatever is meaningful to their nervous system. And then we move into our core activity of the session, and that's usually something directly from the interoception curriculum book. We'll do a lot of focus area experiments. That's from section 1 of the interoception curriculum, where we're inviting each student to notice how a certain body part feels through a series of really fun. The experiments are designed to be as fun as possible. So we might be doing experiments with our hands and noticing how our hands feel, or maybe we're doing something with our nose and experiments to evoke some sensations in the nose and noticing how our nose can feel, or maybe we're doing something with our stomach and noticing the different ways our stomach can feel during these experiments. So we have that core rhythm of that main activity, and then we always have some kind of conclusion activity, and this is like where we might come up with a couple things that I'll invite them to try in between our sessions. They can invite me to try some things in between our sessions too. I love to be given some homework. I feel like it's really important to have a mutual relationship where it's not a power dynamic, and we're on even terms. And so if I'm inviting them to try something interoception wise in between our sessions, I also benefit from them inviting me to try something. And this model has really proven to be very successful. I also share my screen always, and I have a lot of visual supports and guidance through these sessions. And you can find some of examples of how we create these visual supports for screen sharing during Zoom sessions. We have a really great resource. It's under our freebie section on our website, and it's all about using the interoception curriculum in a telehealth model. So you can download like a little booklet, and it gives you lots of ideas, and it shows you even some images of what some of our PowerPoints might look like. So the interoception curriculum really has helped shift my practice forward in the cyber school setting, and there's a lot of really awesome colleagues that I collaborate with in the schools, and it really has helped us all shift forward. And honestly, the Interoception Curriculum and my sessions are becoming really, really popular with some of the schools that I support. And more staff are asking me about these sessions and what's going on. And so it's really creating a buzz and people learning about interoception and how it can help us to better support and serve the students that are in our schools. One of the biggest barriers that I've faced in trying to use the Interoception Curriculum in a cyber world is to keep each student engaged with me, to keep them hanging in there, to keep them hopefully having fun, to make the session as meaningful as possible. And I have found that by sharing my screen and providing a lot of visual supports can be really crucial for some of my students. Keep us on track, let us know what to expect, keep it predictable. I like to make a lot of my PowerPoints interactive, so kind of like almost in a game fashion, where I might have a slide where I have like a grid and like 6 different numbers on the screen. So in the grid, there's a number in each grid, and they can pick like which activity they want. So they'll like pick number 2, and we'll click on number 2, and it'll open into what experiment we're going to be doing, what is under grid number 2. So it kind of just keeps it really engaging and fun. And sometimes I have really good plans and they're a total flop. And that's okay. Like, I just have to reflect upon what happened and how I can make it better for the next time. And if a student can give me feedback on how I can be better the next time, that's even more helpful when they can give me some feedback. My best tip for you, if you are someone that's focusing or working in a cyber school setting, or you're looking at doing maybe the Interoception Curriculum with some cyber school students, is to just take the plunge. I don't know. I hear from so many people that are like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it right. But personally, I make mistakes still to this day, and I've been using this work for almost 10 years. So no matter how prepared you are, you're probably going to make a couple mistakes, and you're going to learn from those mistakes, and you're going to make each session more and more successful for every student. And each student needs something different. You're not going to know that until you start the adventure. So my tip to you is just get into lesson number 1, noticing the different ways your hands can feel, come up with some experiments that you can try in a cyber school setting. Invite your students to create some experiments too. That's always really fun. And also just keep the fun factor. I think that's the most important part. All right, until next time.